Let's have a look at this Gerber. I've done some grinding, I've done some sharpening, and I've done some chopping. And I did some handle removal. So here's the distal taper. Have a look at that. It's actually quite dramatic. So that, you know, the balance, the weighting on it is not as front heavy as you would think. Now, I had some issues with the handle, chief among which was that it was a total piece of crap. And, yeah, a somewhat resilient piece of crap, all told, to get it off. But between a sawzall and a hammer and chisel and an angle grinder. So yeah, the typical thing, I tried to remove this and it stripped, one of them stripped. So I said, okay, I'm not going to get them out by, you know, with the torque wrench, the one, Milwaukee. So I tried drilling. That also wasn't really working. My equipment's not up to it. So yeah, kind of had to brutalize the thing off. But we got it off. And I don't know whether I'll save that, but wouldn't it be nice to just save all this stuff in these wallets, have them all stacked away in a filing cabinet? So with the grinding, I took the shoulders off a lot. I hit them pretty hard, and I rounded in as well. So this is all very convexy now. And then down here, I really dug in with the stone and practically started putting in a hollow. I mean, you can see there, that's the hollow from the stone. So, I mean, practically, it's probably still, it's still kind of convex, but it's thin down here. I'm working my way in, you know, I mean, it's much improved from how it was, but of course, you know, I haven't polished it or anything. And yeah, these striations, because I'm working on the stone as it's rotating, I'm going edge trailing, and I go like this, or then I go like this, and then change the angle. You know, I'll tilt this way, that way. Far less, obviously, it's kind of a subtle thing, but hence, you know, when I'm doing that, I can go run over and do these little digs here. And yeah, I kind of dug in here as well, trying to smooth this all out. That's potentially a weak point here, but I think it's strong the way that is done with this steep plunge grind here. And right here, what I did, I actually rounded that over with a steel just here. But from here on in, it's pretty sharp. So I'll just sharpen this pencil. Oops. So, handle. I was at the forge a while back, and I started, I think I wanted to make like some kind of club or anyway. I thought this might be the makings of a handle here, but it's not quite right for what I want to do. So I'm going to start, I could just cut a piece off here. I'm going to start at this end, because what I want to do is have a much extended handle with a bit of a kick at the end. So as opposed to this, which, although I'm saying, this seems much more brutal and choppy than slashy, I did actually do some slashing with it. I found some of those thick tufts of grass, and with this tip, I mean, now I can kind of see why they call it a machete. It's just an absurdly thick machete, but you can slash with it like a machete. I guess because, it thins out here at the tip and you've got this nice belly here, and it did a really good job. I think it did a better job than a machete would. A lot harder to use it. It's a lot heavier, but there was nothing stopping it. I'll have to film a demonstration because I was quite impressed with that. Aside from, it chops pretty well. So yeah, thin down here. It's pretty thick here in the kind of choppy area, and then maybe it's thinning out a little here at the tip, also because of the geometry. So what I want to do now is with this piece of oak, I want to encrust this kind of all the way up to maybe here. So yeah, right. So it's an issue with this handle, for example, aside from that it's very straight, I think that it could do with a bit more of a kick and a bit more of an extension down here, just make this an enclosed half tang. But the wear in now, I need to make the handle pretty strong. Also, this here, this prominence for a theoretical saber grind, which then puts this so far forward in your hand, it's way too, it's not well figured out, this part. So that would kind of prevent you from having a very comfortable grip here. Also, the fact that it had these sharp angles here, which I started grinding down. So anyway, this now, I can hold this like this far more comfortably than I could with the crap handle. And it feels way better because it's in a good situation overall, balance-wise, especially once I put more weight back here with the handle. So I'm not worried about making it too heavy. If anything, I might even want to look into trying to make it more heavy. But basically my idea, right, we're going to encrust this. So let me just eye this up here. I've made some experiments with working, doing like YouTuber style here. Here's how I do this. It doesn't really work out very well for me when I'm trying to film myself doing something so far. But I figured this much I can probably do on camera and then take a moment to speculate along with my viewers as to what would be good ergos here. So what I'm thinking really is that the final handle will grind this part off so that there's wood here, this face is here, but here we have an exposed tang, so that what you would have here in the end is fairly thin augmentation here just to make this ovular, because it's so wide this way, it doesn't need a lot of width that way. And if you're choking up, you're doing fine stuff. But, to have this little well there filled on either side with a little something. But then we can keep this exposed, relatively speaking, not have it encased. And then the encasing will start here. And then, I think that the very back of the handle will come right close to here. And then we'll have a kind of a downwards thing. Okay. Something like that. Now I've made it too white, but Something like that. Your little lanyard hole. So, I mean, there might be some angle adjustment there, but the notion being, okay, I'm choked up here, I've got it at this, but when I'm down here, now I have an orientation so that when I'm chopping, it's coming in at this angle, right? That's whatever you're chopping, it's coming down like this with my hand down here. Krong, more axe-like, as it were. Whoops. So, I'm going to get on with that. Thanks for watching.